Welcome back, lazy gamers. Welcome back to Civ 6. This series is going to be with Poundmaker of the Cree. These are the game and map settings for this one. It's a standard size 7 seas map, but I've added a bunch of civs. I think default are 8. I added the 3 extra civs because the 7 seas map tends to give you a lot of land, and I did not want to end up with empty pockets scattered all over the place, especially since I've been playing with the Barbarian Clans mode. And even though my starting city states, I've kept it at 8. Typically they are slightly higher, I think. Towards the mid game, maybe into the late game, you end up with a lot of city states scattered all over the map if you have the room for those camps to evolve into city states. And yeah, that's why I stacked 3 extra civs here. I went ahead and picked the civs I wanted here. Picked America and Canada because they are North American civs. I picked Sumeria to leverage Poundmaker's ability. Poundmaker does have a massive diplomatic benefit, and we'll talk about it in a second. But Sumeria is there simply to leverage that. Everybody else, Rome, England, Japan, Congo, Mali, Mongolia, Portugal, they have something or some benefit regarding trade routes. And trade routes is why we want to be talking about the Cree. Poundmaker's main ability is all alliance types provide shared visibility. In the mid game, towards the late game, your map exploration is going to be gangbusters. If you're lucky, we can get Gilgamesh early, and a military alliance with him will pretty much guarantee that. Like some boosts, like the circumnav or meeting city states, finding natural wonders. Those things are going to happen naturally and very quickly. And hopefully we'll have more than one ally here. I think in the ideal world, maybe we have 1 or possibly 2 antagonists. But by and large, we want 5 allies, and anyone else left over we should be friendly with them. The outgoing trade routes from Cree cities, they grant 1 food to Poundmaker per camp or pasture at the destination. And this works for internal trade routes too. So if your own cities have a lot of camps and pastures, they become a very natural hub to send internal trade routes to. And all internal trade routes, you get 1 gold along with that extra food per camp and pasture at the destination. What this does in the mid game and pretty much into the late game is it makes your cities very attractive for the AI to send trade routes to. It's just a good trade overall that helps you in the diplomatic game. Maybe not so much for a diplomatic victory per se, but definitely helps you keep the peace. Now the Cree are stacked with 3 benefits that are pretty strong, but only in the early game. The Nihito is the ability where you get an extra trade route capacity and you get a free trader when you research pottery. Getting to pottery is like, yeah, we'll get to pottery early enough, but as the Cree, you probably want to get it as early as possible. More importantly, unclaimed tiles within 3 tiles of a Cree city, they come under Cree control where the trader moves into them. So yeah, the trader just walks through tiles that are within 3 tiles of your city, and those tiles will come under your control. It's pretty much like buying your land for free. You don't have to spend the gold to buy it. The Meekwab is the unique tile improvement. It's a very strong early game improvement. It gives you housing and 1 production. And if it's between 2 bonus resources, it gives you an extra food. These numbers keep going up as you advance through the civics tree. But in the early game, that one, if you find a tile which is adjacent to 2 bonus resources, a 2-1 tile can pretty much turn into a 3-2 tile. Think of them as free bananas on jungles. If your city is initially growth challenged or production challenged, it definitely helps. You cannot place a Meekwab adjacent to another Meekwab. We will have some Meekwabs in the Empire, but I don't think we'll go hard into planning Meekwabs everywhere. But yeah, there will definitely be a few. The Okito is the unique scout. It's almost as strong as a warrior, but it is a scout and it starts with a free promotion and possibly build more than 1. But it is probably one of the strongest scouting units you can get in the entire game. The map settings are pretty similar to the last couple of series that I've put out. It's a Deity game, standard game speed, standard map size. The resources are sparse and the start position is legendary. And yeah, pretty much everything else is on. I did keep the world age as new just to kind of mix it up a little bit. New world age means there will be more mountains and more hills, which is generally better anyways. More hills are always better, but more mountains can create interesting challenges. On a 7 seas map, when you start with World Age New, it is quite likely that you may get an isolated start. As the Cree, we don't want an isolated start. We don't want to be rushed by a neighbor either. Let's see. I mean, I could be wrong about this, but I'm hoping for a semi-isolated start and good enough room to expand and friendly neighbors, I hope. As for modes, Barbarian Clans, Monopolies and Corporations and Secret Societies is on. I was deliberating whether I want Heroes and Legends on, but I left it off. So the strategy for Cree on some level needs to revolve around trade routes into the late game. And that simply means that if you're picking a secret society, Owls of Minerva is just a natural fit here. The only downside to choosing Owls is Owls typically rewards you for international trade routes, essentially trade routes to city-states, and the Cree's natural ability might favor internal trade routes overall. Either Void Singers or Hermetic Order could also be worthwhile. In fact, with both Hermetic Order and Void Singers, if we do end up picking them, it will be something that happens very early in the game, because generally the value generated from Void Singers and Hermetic Order is best realized in the early game, while Owls of Minerva you can actually delay picking it until you are into the mid game also. We are playing with sparse resources and monopolies and corporations is on. Getting luxuries is going to be a challenge. Generally speaking, making monopolies is going to be a challenge. But if we get lucky, if we have at least a couple of monopolies, it definitely makes the culture win push easy. But since the Cree are so stacked towards a strong play in the early game, we want to basically, the first 50 turns are going to be crucial. We want to leverage the Cree abilities, Poundmaker's abilities as well as possible in the early turns so that we can pivot into pretty much any victory type we want afterwards. All victory types are open, probably except for domination, I guess. There are some edge cases where a game could become a war game, but that's not what I'm looking for though. Some degree of a peaceful game, pivoting into culture or science. And maybe even diplomatic victory, I guess, are possible. But yeah, but the plan for the early turns is to lean on Poundmaker's abilities, try to sim, build up a strong foundation, and then decide, and then see which victory condition we want to pivot into.
Bind you to a...
Alright. A gypsum heavy start here, but in place will be severely growth challenged. Alright, we see a marble. I could move up one tile. Settling in place, we will have to lean into pottery, get a builder, improve that wheat, and that's pretty much going to be the only way we grow. There is a spot for a mequap between the wheat tiles. Yeah, you can't place mequaps on wood, so that those woods need to go. It will be a 2-2 tile with the mequap. Not great. I would rather have preferred that to be a hill tile. Let's take a look at our fresh water here. Okay, the gypsum down south is on fresh water. Probably going to be on a lake. If I try to go there, it's going to be a turn 3 settle. It's a bit of a YOLO strat, but I'm going to try it. I have at least one 2-2 tile to work if I settle the gypsum. Alright. Since I'm moving into a bunch of woods, I think it'll be beneficial. I was lacking a 2 food to growth or 2 food to production tile at my original spot. That's fine, we'll make this work. Let's go animal husbandry first here and queue up a Okita. Oh sweet, got a new pop. Which means I'm gonna queue up a settler. Alright. Our Okita is ready. And I think the first promotion he takes is Ranger. We met Daruga and we were the first to meet them. Excellent. Okay. So I can drop Amani into him. Yeah, let's do that. First meet, and especially if it unlocks a governor for you, going Amani first is generally it works. And we met Bandar Pranay. Okay, not the first week. So there's going to be someone close to Bandar Brunei. I hope not too close because we did move south from our original spot. It's quite possible we have moved into some civilization here. Okay. Question is, do I want to meet someone immediately or maybe want to wait?
I am fond of pigs.
Okay. Okay, we got lucky with horses. We have 3. We walked. So this was an opportune settle. Not only did we settle on a wonder, we have 3 horses, 1 marble, and another gypsum within our... Actually, 2 copies of this gypsum, 1 from our original spawn. So, yeah, definitely builder next. Alright. As long as I'm seeing ruins around me, I'm happy that no one has walked on that area. So no AI is going to be close. And we boosted mysticism here. And this guy needs to heal for now. Okay. So there are a bunch of camps. Our capital has 3 pastures. But this area south seems to have a good chunk of camps. So one of the things, when you drop a money into a city state, you do get visibility into the city state. The side effect of that is it clears or it busts the fog of war so that when you get a trader, the trade route option opens up for you. Now in our case, Bandar Brunei also looks like we have a straight path to reach Bandar Brunei, so our trade route can go there too. And Daruga will probably be the first one we send our trade route to. In fact, we get pottery, we get foreign trade, which will unlock another trade route for us. So the 2 trade routes that we have right now, each of them can go to the 2 city states we have met. Right, Code of Laws, put login, Discipline, and God King. Okay. Alright.
Who deserves more credit?
It's a good area down here. Definitely put like possibly 2 or 3 cities. Okay. So our first settler needs to... Yeah, not... I could settle towards Bandar Brunei, lock in that land there, but it's not good land. I think my first city needs to go south. And I don't see any religious, any loyalty pressure stuff. There is honey, I see 5 camps, 2 pastures, 6 camps, 7 camps, and 2 pastures. But I think, yeah, let's head down south and we'll find a spot for it. And this guy can just, fortify. Those guys are going to slam into him and eventually kill themselves. Okay. You see a barb camp, and that scout is most likely belonging to this one. So...
Organisms don't think of CO2 as a poison.
Alright.
Plants and organisms that make shelter.
We found the Great Barrier Reef and we met Caesar. And we unlocked our medic. Bunch of things happened here. That scout, as long as that scout is next to the camp, we will not get hit. The scout is split rock, so as long as that clan or that camp stays intact, this guy won't go homicidal. He won't attack the settler. Okay, that's good. I think we can clear the camp with the Okito. Yeah, and I'm going to settle that spot. I have no vision into how far Rome is or where Rome is located yet. And it just makes sense that I try to settle my closest spots first.
No man ever
We
wetted
have
clay.
pottery and we have our free trader, who I think goes to Taruga. Taruga has a city state quest or a trade route. Question is, do I do that or do I use it on my new city? That's fine. Taruga it is. Okay, let's raid this camp and buy a spearman. Planning for masonry early in this game, especially since we have marble and gypsum, I think might make a lot of sense because I have no idea if Rome... Caesar can turn unfriendly pretty fast. And I have no idea when we settle whether that settlement is... how favorably he's going to look upon that settlement. Yeah, masonry at some point is important, but... maybe before masonry, let's try to unlock our iron. Let's get bronze working. Let's kill this camp. Okay.
Victor is
Okay, there is a mountain range there, so there is a good possibility that we are blocked off from Rome. But let's see. It looks like he has some gypsum, so we can't trade with him. Oh, damn it. Okay. Yeah, the volcano took out the camp. Alright, let's settle. Ata Kapoop. Ata Kakoop. Koop. Ata Kakoop. Alright, this city is gonna be, with any luck and RNG, the city is gonna be a growth powerhouse. Okay. Oh, Rome's right there. Alright. So, I think our city settle is fine. I need more builders for sure. Alright, free kill. Gradient storm.
Every nation lives by...
Alright. Odds are high that there is someone to our north here. But we moved away from them and there is it's a large chunk of desert, so I think whoever is in there, unless it's Mali, we may be, yeah. Anybody else, we would be okay. The other civs generally do not settle into desert as a priority. This is a 7 seas map and I'm seriously I'm hoping rather that that the amount of land we have to work with is actually quite large. But, yep, luck is not always a good strategy. Craftsmanship is boosted and okay, we need to meet some more neighbors here.
bronze is the
Bronze
mirror.
working is done. The capital is going to struggle for growth, but Atha ka poop or Atha ka koop, Atha ka koop. Yeah, I'm going to say poop pretty much consistently. I'm going to say my growth city. My second city is going to be my growth city. Actually, well, trade routes to it from other cities will help the other cities grow. So I think we are fine. I think the capital is fine as long as it sends one trade route to the second city. Mali. Okay, so Mali is to our west. So Mali is definitely not to the north of us. North of Rome. Okay, and we have the city-state between us, so I think we are fine. Okay. New trader. Yeah, let's send the internal trader out for now. Okay. We see the tundra up in the north, and we haven't seen anybody else up there. Oh yeah, I should actually definitely trade my horses. I have a ton of horses. And we met Kublai Khan. And yeah, we boosted early empire too. Sweet. Okay. Okay, I need to take a pause and think about this. There's a lot of stuff going on. I will have a pantheon soon, and I have a feeling, I'm leaning towards the God of Craftsmen pantheon here. Simply because I have 3 horses in my capital. The second city doesn't have anyone or any strategics, at least not that I see yet. But there are 2 more horses to the south of that city, so I definitely want a city on the coast. Hopefully getting the Great Barrier Reef if I can, but that might be hard. Let's see.
I don't believe in astrology.
Astrology is boosted. Let's get writing. Okay. So that sea camp is going to be a bit of a problem because there will be boats in the water. And if I put a city south of my second city, it will come under pressure from all the boats in the area. So I will need a few archers to make that work.
I like to say I practice militant
Alright, the era countdown has started. Yeah, we have a ways to go before we... We have a ways to go for a golden age here. This may not happen. Even if I put down a Mequap, that's going to give me 4. So it pushes me up to 18. I might get a boat. That's 20. I'm still 5 short. Okay. There's definitely a camp up there in the tundra.
Right,
And actually that's good. All these camps that kind of evolve in the tundra, I am perfectly okay with them. So they can evolve into city-states. I just have to not be... As long as those units don't mess with me, I'm okay with it. Alright, new settler is ready. I want to take this guy south. I have a feeling that any settle I do south first is going to... Rome may not be happy with it. I think let's try and settle towards Taruga first. Yeah, let's do that first. For one thing, we are sending a trade route to Taruga, so pretty much the land that the city will control, the 3 tiles around it, will come under the new city's control. Right, let's place a holy site down. It is 6 turns and I will get era score for it. Ah, sweet. We can trade. Our second copy of marble came from, I think it came from Taruga, who's our ally right now, or who we are allied to. I have to be very diligent about making sure that anything I can trade, I am able to trade. because gold is going to be very, very important in any Cree game, in any Poundmaker game. In the middle of the game, you'll realize that the capacity for Poundmaker to generate gold is very high. So there tends to be a gold-centric game, not as much faith-centric. I think religion, if you get a religion, that's great, but if you don't, that's okay too. Religion is not important for our eventual win here, but gold is, and we will definitely be leaning into harbors and commercial hubs soon enough. Alright, 7 turns, and we have a Pantheon. And I think this is an easy choice. God of Craftsmen. I could make use of camp food and camp food in production too. Goddess of the Hunt. Definitely. There are 5 camps. Well, actually 4 camps in the second city. But there are a couple more I could use. But I think long term, Goddess of Craftsmen has better value, and I think I'm going to pick that. Like the camps that you see are the camps that you have till the end of the game. While strategics, you will have more reveal themselves as you progress through the game. So if I'm already seeing 3 nodes, actually 5 nodes, if I have my southern city in place, I'm definitely going to have many more nodes. So yeah, so I think just based on the camps I see and the potential for strategics opening up, Goddess of Craftsmen is the right choice. I think I'm going to buy a settler here and definitely put a city down south. Alright, 6 turns to go. I do want a golden age if possible. It's not a deal breaker. If I don't get it, it's fine. But I think I might have a decent chance of getting one. And my secondary city, my camp city, I think I should try and make a play for Temple of Artemis here. Well, let's get a slinger. Let's hard build one, and then we'll see if we can get a boost on him. So Rome and Mali's borders are sort of touching. We could see some fireworks there. Cool.
Yosemite Valley to me is...
Yosemite in the desert for Mali. Yeah, that's actually quite strong for Mali. Like playing as Mali, if you get a settle like that, I mean, I'm putting a city right next to Yosemite on the desert tile. Okay, let's see if we can raise some gold here. Because I'm at 16, I'm gonna get 3 from the holy site. A Mequap can give me another 4. We'll need to buy a builder. And I think that hill tile between the wheat tiles is actually a fantastic spot for a Mequap, and I should put it there. Alright. My third city is down. That volcano settle gives me an era boost. That's good. Now the city should put down a holy site first, but there are some decent spots for a campus too. Well, let's go with the holy site. That's good. I should be meeting more neighbors though. I'm kind of far away from my lands. And I think I'm on the edge of Mali and Roman borders too. Cool. 3 turns to go. We are at 20 euro score. And we'll be at 24 with the Mequap. Yeah, this is going to be close. Oh. Yeah, I'm gonna make a play for the Oracle here. If it's available, I'm definitely gonna try for it. But I might need a few builders and might need to chop it. But luckily, like in the game like this, where you have options with where you can sell your horses, you can raise a good amount of gold in a pinch. Sweet. Tokugawa. Alright. So we are at 21 era score, and I think a Mikwap alone is going to guarantee me my golden age, and that is great. Considering that we are, I don't know if we'll get a religion, but we have a couple of holy sites coming up. We will have the faith. Having some amount of faith is useful because you can use that for monumentality. Yeah, sweet. City number 4 is down, and that also gave me an era score. Okay. Yeah, I can kill this camp and get era score too. Okay. So all in all, I mean, I was more worried than I should have been. I had multiple ways to get to my golden age. Now this city, yeah, this city will need a dam at some point, but that's down the line. But I think a harbor and potentially a commercial hub, yeah, those are higher priorities for these cities, for that city. Okay, let's get our slinger down south, because I have a feeling that the coastal city is going to come under some threat, some pressure from galleys, especially if we kill that coastal camp.
When wasteful war shall
Masonry's done. Okay. Oh, wait. Do I kill the camp now or wait? Yeah, there is... I think that's Canada south of me. Okay, let's go ahead and meet Canada here. And we'll buy a boat. That'll give me 2 era score. Sweet. Okay. Since we already have 25, I think we can meet Canada after the gold... in the next stage. And I think I'll hold off on building the Mikwap until the next stage. The world enters the classical era, and... Right. Okay. Looks like great profits are not contested, so we don't have to rush for one. I am gonna go monumentality here, and we'll try to get some more settlements under our belt. Alternately, we can go for Exodus, guarantee we get our religion early, but I think it's fine. Monumentality works better. Boats. Yeah, I can't stray too far with this galley here. He needs to stay somewhere close by. And we can kill this camp now. When you kill a camp, pretty much all the units that are that belong to that camp typically go crazy right after that point. They will not hesitate attacking you.
Oh no!
And we met Wilfred Laurier, another trade partner. Okay, let's get all these camps up first.
It is equally important.
State of force is done, and so I haven't picked a secret society yet, and I have no idea which one I'm going to be picking. I do want Pingala to get all the way to grants I could use Pingala in my capital, or I could use him in my second city, or I could choose to go with Magnus and have him at provision. I think taking Magnus to provision is maybe slightly better because I can then get my settlers without losing any population. And since my second city, Atakakup, is going to be my taller city, I think the city is the one that builds the government plaza. Let me think about this. I'm not going to pick a governor until I'm sure if I want to go Pingala or Magnus. I mean, eventually both, but who do I go with first? That's the question. Must not forget trading my horses and my luxuries. Okay, the Taruga trade route, I think I should send it again. Or I could send him in a different direction and get more land under my control. But no, I think I need to move him to a new city. I gotta get all my other secondary cities growing. Like pretty much any Cree game, you realize very early on that in the perfect world, you need a lot of traders. So any governors, any wonders that give you trade routes, those are a high priority if you want to playing as Poundmaker. I'll send this one to Canada and try to see if I can get a city on the coast where that camp used to be. And let's lean into Magnus here. We'll plug him into our secondary city here. Gilgamesh. Alright, go ahead and friend Gilgamesh right now. And considering Mali is also friendly with us, I'm gonna go ahead and take friendship with Mali. Mali's an immediate neighbor, so being friendly with all my immediate neighbors is paramount. Canada to my south, it's gonna be easier, but Rome, it might be the hardest one to friend, I think, overall. Rome and Kublai Khan.
Wealth consists not
Right, early empire is done, and I think I can switch out of God King here. Get urban planning. Let's pick our Gog. Let's try to build some military in cities where I'm not sure what I want to build. Well, let's go for irrigation next, and I think I want to beeline straight for political philosophy here. Let's promote Magnus to provision. Right, since we have the ability to put down industries, we have the potential for some really strong monopolies later in the game. When we get to banking and economics, we'll get a sense of exactly how many resources are on the board and how many we control. But I'm looking at least 4 monopolies here. Potentially the honey, the truffles, the gypsum for sure, and possibly marble. I'm going to try and place down my industries in a way that gives me the maximum amount of amenities if I do get the Temple of Artemis, which is definitely going to be in my secondary city. And I'm going to try and raise as much gold as I can from the AI. I will need to buy some tiles. I will need to buy possibly a builder or two. We are in Monumentality Golden Age, but our faith is not very strong. And all said and done, I'd rather use my faith to buy settlers.
The man who has grit enough.
I think let's get archery. It's a good time to get it. I think we are very close to boosting it. And our first meek map is down. Yeah, the graphics are very misleading there, but it's a two food, 3 production tile. Pretty good. And the 1 gold comes from the luxury next to it. It's already turn. Yeah, we are pretty much in the classical era, and usually Oracle doesn't last. Oracle is typically gone by the time this happens, so I'm kind of lucky that I'm still building it. But I'm kind of, I think I will need to rush it. I think I will need a few builders, and I might want to chop it because, yeah, just to guarantee that I am getting the Oracle here. And since we have the gold, I think I'm going to go ahead and buy the settler here. This guy has been chasing me for a good part of the last like 15, 20 odd turns. Alright.
Oracle's done. The swift ship in the form of a dolphin.
The Oracle makes it cheaper to buy great people with faith. With faith and gold at least. And it also increases your great people generation in your city. So things like campuses, theater squares, commercial hubs, in the capital, in the city that you build the Oracle, is actually quite valuable. And Pingala with the grants promotion really maximizes the benefit of Oracle. So generally speaking, the city that you build your Oracle in should be the city where Pingala lives. In our case, the capital would need to be much taller to actually benefit from Pingala. But it's fine. It's just a matter of time. I still think that no matter how much I get the capital growing, I think the second city is going to be the tallest city in the empire.
I shot an arrow into the air.
Sweet. Archery is boosted. Should plan to place down my Temple of Artemis. I think that's fine. When you place industries down, the industry takes away or takes out the camp. So the camp on its own would have given the amenity that from the Temple of Artemis, and the industry takes it away. So it's just one of those things that you got to kind of plan for and know off the bat. Now this settler, I could go north closer to my original spawn, or I could bring him, yeah, let's bring him down towards Canada. And I think I'm going to plan a city somewhere. In fact, I can plan a very decent mausoleum of Helicarnass city here. I think right there is fine. It's a good spot for a harbor and a commercial hub there. So every city can only have one monopoly or corporation. And I believe both gypsum and marble, I believe they give you the same benefit. Yeah, it's 30% production towards buildings in the city, which is quite strong. I can put down a marble industry and a gypsum industry. I think either or. One of them goes in the capital and one of them goes in the volcano city. Alright, let's raise some gold here, and yeah, we need builders. We need lots of builders here. Sweet. We have a volcano mine. Let's take open borders with Gilgamesh here. I think I just want to basically scout in a straight line. And yeah, there are more. There are 4 more civs to meet. Yeah, this archer should probably stay in the city itself. And I think the city can build a few more military and get their walls up. I'm very paranoid about my coastal settles because often what happens is I end up settling on a ghost in a vulnerable spot, and like a barb camp that I just took out, 2 or 3 boats will destroy my city. Actually, even a single boat has the capacity to destroy your city, and I just have become wary of that fact and try to avoid it. We met Arma, and we have boosted political philosophy. And I think I'm going to go with autocracy here. So autocracy gives you a natural boost to build wonders, which is good because we'll be building some. And I'm going to plug in Corvi just for the extra boost, the speed of building wonders. So right now, Temple of the Artemis is slated to be finished in 12 turns. Right. I should continue this trade route to my secondary city, but maybe, yeah. Since I only have 2 traders right now, I think I'm going to move you to the volcano city and see if I can grab some more land east of me. Now, I want to get Pingala, and definitely the next plan is to get Pingala all the way to Grants. I'm tempted here. I think I'm going to pick Hermetic Order and see how our ley lines look like. Okay. Crap. I think that was a bad call. We have one in our capital. And there is one towards Rome there, but yeah, I think I goofed up here. Yeah. So in the entire swath of land that we have settled into, there are 0 ley lines. There are a ton up north here. So yeah, should definitely plan on expanding north. Luckily, I was expecting to find some civ north of me, and I'm kind of lucked out here. I think we kind of lucked out here. There is no one north of us, and we moved away from that original city spot where we had spawned. And there are definitely some good spots to settle there. And it's quite likely that this boat is in an inland sea here. That's normal. That's common with Seven Seas maps. You tend to find landlocked seas, and there isn't enough. There are not too many good options to explore with naval units. Yeah, I think that industry can wait. I think let's improve the horses first. And there are a bunch of camps I need to put down too. Yeah, this builder can come down. Okay. I want to see if there is a spot near Taruga that I can use to block off any further expands, any future expands from Mongolia. Let's see. Alright. And down to 9 turns now. And I'm going to place down the commercial hub here. A part of me I'm having regrets about picking Hermetic here. Like in this situation, Owls would have been so much better. It's fine. We'll make it work. Practically speaking, the only thing that will change about this game is we'll need to lean into campuses along with the other things that we need to build. Because Hermetic, the third promotion in Hermetic Order gives you a unique university building that's pretty strong. So pretty much I want to say most of my cities will have a campus. And this trade route, yeah, I think Taruga is fine. Yeah, we'll have, after I improve that horse node, we'll have 5 horses active, which means 10 horses per turn, which means we could literally be, yeah, we are going to be swimming in horses here. So I've been holding off on sailing for one simple reason. When I send my trade routes, I want to take away the option for my trade routes to go. I'm trying to avoid using the ocean as a ways to get my trade routes. Yeah, as long as the traders travel over land, they will capture or they will gather up the land tiles, and those are far more valuable to me than the coastal tiles, at least right now. But I think, yeah, there's only so much I can hold off. I think I'll have to go with sailing soon. But for now, I think apprenticeship is perfectly okay. Yeah, this guy has been chasing me all this while, and I've been basically, and he's not attacking. He hasn't been engaging us in any battles, but keeping sight of him so that I can eventually, that the camp that he belongs to will become a city-state, and we can potentially ally it. Alright, new city's down. The city is going to be my Mausoleum of Helicarnassus city, and can't build harbors yet, and there is a decent spot for a campus too here. I think let's get a few builders in this area and then see what we can do with it. We met Portugal. Alright. Alright. All these archers that I'm building, they will just stay parked in what are my frontier cities right now. Eventually I'll move them out, or I'll position them better, but right now I'm just protecting myself from any any shenanigans that happen from Rome. And I'll have to plan the same thing on the eastern coast with Mongolia too. Our land border with Canada is, I think it's barely settled right now. I don't see a way where Mali can encroach into us. Rome is the only real threat, and potentially Mongolia later. In the best of cases, if they both turn friendly towards me, or if their disposition turns friendly, I will definitely ally them. If that happens, I mean, we are on easy street. Okay, we're gonna buy a builder here and force the issue. We will chop out the Temple of Artemis in the next turn or two. Okay, so Apadana is available, and again, just like the Oracle, right? It's a little too late in the game for it to still be around, and I'm going to try and make a play for it. I'm not expecting to get it, but if I do, it can... So right now I'm torn between science and culture as potential victory conditions. I'm still like on the fence here, but I'm definitely... If I get Apadana, it's definitely going to push me towards a culture win. And considering the amount of monopolies we are expecting to have, a culture win might just be the way to go in this game. But having said that, I'm not going to ignore science. I think I'm going to definitely lean into a science game too.
Bravery is being the only... When I saw the house of Artemis that mounted to the clouds, those other marvels lost their brilliancy. And I said, lo, apart from Olympus, the sun
Temple of Artemis is done. And I think this is a good spot to take a break. I think the video is going to be at about an hour mark, close to an hour or more. And I mean, this has been a fantastic start. Considering the initial, like we had a turn 3 settle and we moved away from our initial spot, and yeah, it was a bit of a YOLO settle really to begin with. But it seems to have worked out, and I think I have a good clutch of really strong cities developing here. Yeah, the plan for the next hour is to consolidate and build up on the start we have. It should be fun, and if I have to place a bet right now as to which win condition is going to work out, I think it's going to be culture. Thank you for watching, and definitely tune into the next one. If you have made it this far and have enjoyed this video, please leave a like, share with your friends, or consider subscribing. And if you're already subscribed, my heartfelt thanks to you. Thank you.